Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavatkripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmane Namo Namaste Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadi Tad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. Hari. That's it. We will start with the Shanti Mantra of Kathopanishad, because today I thought I will speak about, as I said yesterday, the very important some shlokas from Kathopanishad. Tomorrow I will try a few shlokas from Mundakopanishad or other places and try to summarize depending on time. Altogether we have only about 3 hours of time, not much can be done in that. Now these the Upanishadic Shanti Mantras, although they are they are in the Vedas, the karma kanda of the Vedas, all the prayers, they are desire oriented prayers. That is, give me health, give me money, give me property, give me children, like that. They are all desire oriented. Even the ritualistic yajnas also are performed with some materialistic desire, either in this world or in the other world after the body falls, going to heaven, etc. But there a complete reversal takes place when we move to the Upanishad, because there everything is to become desire free. So the desires have to be eliminated. And there the Shanti Pathas particularly, they are also prayers, but we can call them self-addressed prayers. Self-addressed means, see, when you are asking for children or heaven or anything, there is a gap between what you are doing now and what you are expecting. There is a time gap. That is, you are asking for going to the heaven after the body falls, or having children at Dasharatha did, that Putra Kameshti Yaga. It will also have its own time, and in future something will happen, because they are desire. Now in Upanishad we completely replace the desire by aspiration. This is an English word I am using in that sense. We are replacing the desire by aspiration, where by aspiration we mean a current force, a force which is currently operating in me. Suppose if I look for purity, I crave for purity, there is no point in saying that after 10 years I will become pure. Then that prayer has no meaning, is it not? When I am praying, I want purity, means there should be a current force working in me, which I am calling aspiration, that I am looking for purity, I am craving for purity, I am expressing that. Now here also, when whatever we are praying for actualizing that. So when it is used as self-addressed, it becomes effective. That is, when we really pray for purity, there is no way but we will become pure by my own intention, by my aspiration we will become pure. Do you get the difference between the two? So that is the difference in the Upanishadic prayers. And Shanti Mantras particularly, they are before any Upanishadic session and at the end also, particularly in the beginning, we chant these shlokas, these mantras, to create a congenial atmosphere so that the communication takes place well. Because these are extremely subtle truth. To communicate that truth needs a very subtle state of mind and intelligence for the speaker as well as the listener. Both will have to be in a very peaceful, subtle state of mind. So these Shanti mantras are chanted by both the teacher and the students to generate that condition. As we say, three Shantis, they refer to three kinds of Shantis. One is Adi Daivika, where we don't have anything to do, the nature. Then Adi Bhautika, where animals, including human beings also, from there no obstruction should come, no hindrance should come. And the last one is Adhyatmika, which is very important for us, because the Adhyatmika Shanti, when we are praying for, that is a self-addressed prayer. What is the Adhyatmika Shanti? There are three parts there also: physical, mental, and intelligential. That is, we are praying for a physical state which will be conducive to that. Suppose we have, before the session, we have eaten quite a lot, so that gas is there. Naturally, the mind will not be able to focus on it. Or we have taken something very spicy, very exciting something, then also the mind will not be able to focus. Similarly, the mind, and if it is reasonably free of desires at that point, worldly desires, then the mind will be peaceful, in a peaceful state to absorb the knowledge. Intelligence also, unless the intelligence is humble, we will not be able to gain knowledge. So all these three together, they create an Adhyatmika Shanti for us, which is very important. When we are praying, automatically we should crave for that. And when we crave for that, we have it also. It is by our direct aspiration for those qualities, it happens. So I think I have been able to explain the currency of it. It is not something we are desiring which will happen in future. By just praying, instantly our aspiration will bring in, to some extent, depending on our intensity of the prayer, depending on the emotional association we have. Any prayer should have a certain emotional association, which we generally call bhakti. Without that, the prayer will not be granted. See, thousands of people are going to some temple and they are praying. Only in few cases their prayers are getting satisfied, others are not getting. The deva is the same there. It is because of our mental state, our strength of devotion, our emotional association, that all these things happen like that. So, we will chant the Kathopanishad Shanti Mantra. I will chant in small pieces, and I think you would like to follow. So that way our chanting will go. And we will not do it in the usual Vedic style. Some of you must be used to the Vedic style. One thing is that cannot be done in a repeated form like this. Another is that we generally chant this not in the Vedic tune or rhythm, but bhavanuyai. Bhavanuyai means depending on the word meaning, the tune automatically comes, so that it has a direct effect on our mind. The Vedic chanting has got its fundamental gravity and its own power in purifying the atmosphere and all. But when we are doing it, but Vedic chanting was necessary because those were coming from mouth to mouth, and people will have to, if you don't do it in that meter, then it would be lost. It is not in that manner, and we are doing it particularly to intensify the mental state. So there we generally follow the tune, whatever automatically comes, following the bhava of the words. According to that we do. So, Om Sahana Bhavatu. Do it full throated, let it come fully, completely filling the hall, so that I also feel inspired, you also feel inspired. Om Sahana Bhavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sah Veeryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Now, I will very briefly touch on it because otherwise the whole today's session will go in explaining this Shanti Mantra. I have done it in so many places, but just briefly touch on it. That you will mark that here Dvivachana is used. Saha nau avatu, saha nau bhunaktu, saha viryam karabhavahai. Everywhere it is Dvivachana. And it is understood that the Dvivachana is used for the teacher and the student. That is, may we too be protected, may we too be nourished, like that. So, naturally the question comes that why suddenly the Upanishad has become so constricted in its thought that we are only praying for the teacher and the student. Because everywhere we pray for everybody. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramayaha. Everywhere we are praying for everybody. How is it coming to such an Upanishad which is very important, we are praying only for two? So it needed quite a few days of thought. I was not able to leave this thought. It was going on, going on. Finally, I discovered that there is a great meaning in it. That praying for the teacher and the student is important for preservation of Brahma Vidya, this truth about our identity, truth about our Atma. Why? Because this Brahma Vidya, it is for the Brahma Vidya that the Indian civilization has lived for such a long, unknown period of time, from prehistoric time. Because this Brahma Vidya is generating the Loka Sangraha, or putting the society on the auspicious track. Now, if any generation from, you can easily understand it is coming down to us for thousands and thousands of years. Now, if at any time in the whole period there was not a single teacher or not a single student, Brahma Vidya would have been lost. Is it not so? It is a living knowledge. It is passed over from the teacher to the student. It cannot be had from the book. The book is only like the picture of a fire. With the picture of a fire, can you cook your food? Try it. It's not possible. So this knowledge also, this is knowledge about our own self, about our own identity. So this knowledge has to be a first-hand knowledge, first-hand discovery for us. It cannot be, we can know about Atma from the Upanishads, from the book. But that knowledge will not become our first-hand discovery until we feel like that, that I would have also said like this. That realization has to come. So it is a direct transmission from the guru to the students, from the teacher to the student. And this transmission, this communication would not have taken place if at any time in the period, suppose a teacher is not there or the student is not there. Is it not so? Both have to be there to have the communication. So this knowledge, living knowledge, is coming down to the present society because of this Guru Shishya Parampara. We should understand that the importance of the Guru Shishya Parampara. So there is nothing wrong in having the prayer directed only to the Guru and the Shishya, teacher and the student. It adds much more meaning than saying Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, everybody can say, may all become happy, may all become good, all that. But here, it is particularly directed to the Guru Shishya Parampara, or the teacher and the student, so that the Brahma Vidya remains living in the society, so that the society is preserved and it is kept on the auspicious track. So there is a great meaning in it. So we are starting with Saha Nau Avatu. May we too be protected. Now here we can understand that the protection can be a physical protection, direct meaning. But in the Upanishad, because all these are related to the communication, we have to understand that this protection is not just physical protection, but may we be, our intelligence and the communication power and the understanding power of the receptivity of the student, may these two be protected. Suppose the teacher is suffering from Alzheimer's disease or dementia, then he will not be able to communicate. Perhaps we are approaching that level. We are already forgetting many things. the teacher will not be able to communicate. And if the student also is not having the enough receptivity or so, then he will not be able to understand. So to have the proper communication, protection means protection of our faculties. And particularly, unless we have enough of sattvaguna in our being, in our faculties, that is intelligence, mind, physically, everywhere we should have enough of sattvaguna to understand the truth and communicate the truth. That is the real protection. Sahanu bhunaktu again means that may we too be nourished. Nourished by what? Nourished by enough of sattvaguna, so that our all the faculties can properly communicate and receive the knowledge. Saha viryam karavavahai. May we to do whatever we do with virya. Now, what is this virya? Is it depending on our money power or political power or fame or anything? No. Let us go into the Upanishad itself. Kena Upanishad says, Atmana vindate viryam. Vidyaya vindate amritam. Atmana vindate viryam. That means the real virya comes from within, from our inmost level. That means whatever we do, saha viryam karavavahai, whatever we do, if we do being anchored in our inmost level, not in a superficial level covering up this, that, and not with enough of arjava or straightforwardness, if you do, then it is not, we are not anchored in the inmost level. When we do anchored in the inmost level, nothing can scare us, nothing any fear will not be able to overwhelm us. We will have the maximum courage when we are doing things anchored in our real inmost identity. So sahaviryam karmavahi means that let whatever we are doing, let us do anchored in our inmost level. And when we are praying, as I said in the beginning, it is a self-addressed prayer. When we are saying that, that utterance should have the connection to the inmost level, then it will immediately, we will know and we will incorporate that also. Saha viryam karavavahai. Tejasvi now adhitamastu. Whatever we are studying, may it become brilliant. Now, this is what are we studying in Upanishads? We are studying about our own self, about our own real identity. Now, when will it become brilliant? When we live the knowledge. This is a knowledge to be lived. It is not a bookish knowledge that suppose I know about the microphone. I cannot become the microphone by knowing the microphone. It will remain different from me. If I know anything here, the chair, table, or anything, motor car, I am not going to become that. Only when the knowledge is about our subject, about our own identity, then by knowing it, I am becoming that. Atma initially is a concept outside. As we are knowing more and more about Atma and living that knowledge, we are identifying with that Atma, and finally our mind is becoming the Atma. That is why it is said that the pure mind itself is the soul. So it is a direct getting associated with the Atma, finally getting transformed into the Atma. So it is a living knowledge. When we are saying, what is that? Tejasvi now adhitamastu. It means that may whatever we study, it becomes brilliant. That means we practice it. Whatever we are studying about the Atma, we must practice it. Suppose yesterday we were discussing about that we are born with an abhava bodha, an insufficiency, and a delusion that something from the world will make us happy. Now, if we have understood that nothing from the world is going to make us permanently happy, then we should follow it. Is it not? Now, if you don't follow it, after knowing it, again we run after the worldly things. That means we are not living the knowledge. You test it by doing it. That is why when we say that the deservingness or fitness for this Upanishadic knowledge comes from enough of sadhana chatushtaya. That means viveka, vairagya, shamadamadi shadga sampatti, mumukshaha. I am not going into the detail because most of you know about it also. Now, if suppose you have viveka, a scientist can have great viveka. Viveka is distinguishing between permanent and impermanent, or we can say between shreyas and preyas, what is immediately present, what is ultimately auspicious. A very sharp intellect will be able to have this distinction. But suppose after knowing that this is the Shreyas, this is the ultimate auspicious goal, we don't follow it, we remain with the prayers, we remain with the impermanent things, then in English we will call it discrimination, but in Sanskrit we won't call it Viveka. Do you get my point? That is, once we have the Viveka and we have identified that this is what I should do, this is what it is permanent, then if we don't follow the permanent, then we don't call it Viveka. So here one-to-one relationship is there. If Viveka is there, Viveka must lead to Vairagya. If Viveka and Vairagya are there, they must lead to Shamadhamadi Shadga Sampatti, the sixfold treasure. They are all internal treasure. In spirituality, we don't speak about external treasure. They are all internal treasure. They must result from our Viveka and Vairagya. So it should be leading to the next one. Not only that, as the Vairagya increases, it should further sharpen the Viveka also. So they two together will go on enhancing, and they will lead to further enrichment with the six sampattis, the treasure, sixfold treasure. Shamadhamadi Shadga Sampatti. So, what did I say? Tejasvi now adhitamastu. Here it is a whatever we are knowing, whatever we are following, whatever we are studying, unless we follow it, then we cannot say that the knowledge is mine. It has to be become brilliant by living the knowledge. The last statement is again a very important statement. Ma vidvishavahi. Ma vidvishavahi. Let there not be intolerance or hatred between us. Now, naturally, people will say that for spirituality, the people are renouncing, they are coming to the Guru, and they are, how can there be any intolerance or hatred between the Guru and the Shishya? So, we have to go into it. It is the most possible thing. When we are going to a teacher and undergoing this Brahma Vidya, the greatest obstruction comes from our ego. Because ego is the hindrance everywhere. So the moment, and what is Guru's duty? His duty is to sublimate our ego, purify our ego. The moment the Guru starts doing it, the Shishya will get belligerent. Because the ego doesn't accept. It will say that, oh, Swamiji has not understood me. Or somebody has said something about me to Swamiji. That is why he is saying like that. They will not think in a straightforward manner that whatever Swamiji has said is there truth. Let me look into my own character or my own being. That if whatever he has said is true, I should try to correct it. Why should I think in that manner that somebody has reported, that is why he is saying like this, or he has not understood me? These are all our own interpretations. So the greatest hindrance comes from ego, and to the extent it comes that in very few cases the disciple is able to continue with the Guru. They will leave the Guru and go away. Especially when he has become a little scholarly or so, he will go and have his own ashram, he will have his own life. So it is very true, this ma vidvishavahe is very true, that we have to always look into ourselves that never this intolerance should come. We should correct our own mind and intelligence and everything inside. So this is the Shanti Mantra. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, that I have already told. Now in Kathopanishad, the story all of you know, but still I will very briefly go through it to make it a little meaningful. Now one thing is that in Brahma Sutra, when it starts, it is said Athato Brahma Jijnasa. There Shankaracharya has interpreted quite a lot, written quite a lot on it. That what is this Atha Ataha coming in? Brahma Jijnasa means inquiry after the truth, inquiry after the ultimate truth. So what is this Athato? Atha Ataha. And he says that, is it so that before the Jnana Kanda of the Vedas, Vedas have two divisions. One is called Karma Kanda, another is called Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda is about the rituals, yaga, yajna, etc. And Jnana Kanda consists of the Upanishads. That is Vedanta also it is called, and Upanishads, that consists of all the Upanishads. Now, is it that after a person has undergone all the rituals and yaga, jajja, everything he has done, he becomes fit to pursue this Upanishadic knowledge? Is it so? Because of that he is saying Athato Brahma Jijnasa, that he has already done the ritualistic part of the Vedas. Now he comes up and says that after doing the yaga jajna also, it is expected that he will have the purity of the mind to pursue the knowledge. Now, what will define the spirit purity, his fitness? He says this, the sadhana chatushtaya. A person becomes fit to pursue the Upanishadic sadhana or Upanishadic knowledge, provided he has enough amount of sadhana chatushtaya, viveka, vairagya, shamadama, deshatga sampatti, mumuksha. Now, suppose a person has done enough of yaga, jajna, etc., and this sadhana chatushtaya he has not acquired, then will he be fit to pursue? No. Shankaracharya says no. That is proved by, that is why Nachiketa's story has been told. That Nachiketa's father, Vajashravas, he was doing one of the greatest yaga, Vishwajit yaga. And within one or two verses it is shown, Vajashravas, Nachiketa's father, appears in only one or two slokas in the beginning. And it shows that although he had pursued all these yagas, etc., and he was going to pursue the Vishwajit yaga, his mind had not developed the sadhana chatushtaya at all. He was as constricted as others. He was still holding on to his property and all. He was not following a pure mindset. So he was not fit for the knowledge. Whereas Nachiketa, who was only 7-8 years old, he has not done any yaga jajna. But what happened with him? Seeing what his father was doing, wrong things, Shraddha dawned in his mind. Upanishad says, Shraddha avivesha. In Nachiketa's mind, Shraddha dawned. What is the Shraddha? Vedanta Vakya and Guru Vakya. That is, whatever is spoken of in the Vedanta and the Guru, having enough value to that. One who gives the supreme value to that. That is called the Shraddha. So Nachiketa had developed in his mind complete supreme value towards whatever he had known about the Vedantic statements or Guru statement, whatever he had learned. So he had developed the purity of the mind with enough of Viveka, Vairagya, all the sadhana chatushtaya, so that he was fit for knowledge. And the entire Nachiketa story, the Yamarajas testing Nachiketa, everything is showing one after another how the sadhana chatushtaya was manifesting through his character. I think in YouTube it is there, I have discussed in great detail how each of the sadhana chatushtaya is manifest in Nachiketa's character by each behavior of him, right from the beginning. It can be easily understood if we read it deeply. So, Brahma Sutra was saying, who is fit? Who has enough of sadhana chatushtaya. Now, after performing the ritualistic part of the Vedas, if we do not have enough of sadhana chatushtaya, then we are not fit for pursuing the Upanishadic knowledge. And even if we have not pursued the ritualistic part of the yaga jajna, we have not done, but we have developed enough of sadhana chatushtaya, then we become fit for this. So the whole Nachiketa story we have to look into from that angle, that it is not just a story or a mythology. It is mythological deliberately done, so that it is not a realistic story. He is going to Yamaraja. Yamaraja is the Lord of Death, so he can best talk about death. But the purpose is to know that it is a story. But the purpose of the story is to tell us about what we need to do, what are the characteral qualities needed. That is the importance of the story. So as Nachiketa's father Vajastravas, after the yaga, he was giving the priests who performed the yaga for him, for reserving the heaven for him, they were giving, he was giving to them all wrong cows, the defective cows who did not have all the organs, no, never yielding milk, never eating. Beautifully, very humorously in one shloka it has been. One who has eaten the grass forever, one who has milked forever, is not going to milk anymore. Like that, some wrong cows he was gifting to the priest who did the yaga for him. Seeing that, Nachiketa felt that my father is not going to go to the heaven. If he is doing the dana is an most important part of the yaga. At the end of the yaga, the dana is to be done. And if he is flouting all the disciplines there, then instead of going to the heaven, he must be going to the hell. So I must protect my father. This is the mind. See, he did not, the modern children, what will they do? If they really understand, they will go to the father. Father, you are doing is wrong, absolutely wrong. Don't do it like this. They will say like that. Nachiketa did not do like that. He thought that what is this happening? My father is flouting all the disciplines, and what will be the effect? He will be taken to the hell. So how can I protect him? He knew that the best gift one can give is the son. A good son, if you can give, then all the wrong gifts you have given, that will be compensated by such a gift. So he approaches his father with all the good sense and asks his father that, Father, whom are you going to gift me? But the father is a wrongdoer. So his mind is working in a reverse tune. He doesn't reply because he understands that my son, although he is small, he has understood I am doing wrong thing. So he wants to, as we do when we understand that we are doing something wrong, we want to defend. In defense, we try to cover up, do this, do that, etc. So his father did not reply once, twice, thrice. Finally, he got very angry and said that, I give you to death. I give you to death. It is like cursing him to death. Now, the moment he says that, Nachiketa is again in trouble, like Rama. What did Rama do? My father has said that he will send me to Vanavasa. Now, if I don't go to Vanavasa, then my father will be proved as liar, as wrong. So, to establish the truth of my father's statement also, I must go to Vanavasa. This is the example of a fit person who is fit for knowledge. Rama's case also, it is the same thing. Here, Nachiketa felt that father has asked me, that told me that he is giving me to death, so let me go to death. That is how he reaches finally the Yamaraja's palace. Now, I will not go into the detail of it because every behavior that he is staying there, everything you can analyze in terms of his titiksha, his viveka, his vairagya, his titiksha, his shama, dama, uparati, everything can be understood from his behavior. Now, what happens is that Yamaraja comes back. He was not there after 3 nights and 3 days. He comes back and he says that it has been a great. If the managing director is always responsible, suppose the officers do not behave properly, the responsibility belongs to the CEO or the managing director. Is it not so? So the king also, if king's parishada, if king's ministers do not behave properly, the responsibility is with the king. He cannot shirk his responsibility. So Yamaraja has to take the responsibility that such a good brahmacharin has remained without water, without food in my palace. Whatever you may say that palace people did not look at it, but the fact is that it is my fault. So Yamaraja wanted to get relieved of his fault. Not that Nachiketa wanted boon. He did not have any desire for any boon at all. Yamaraja said that you must relieve me of my papa, whatever I have done. And for that, for the 3 nights, I have to give you 3 boons. You ask for them. The first boon he asked about what? My father should be all right. He is an angry person. His anger should go. See? A boy, 7, 8-year-old boy. What is his mindset? And the father who has cursed him to death. He is praying for his father's well-being. What was the second boon? He wanted to learn Agni Vidya. We have to watch it step by step. Agni Vidya for what? For the welfare of the world. Samyajya, it is part of the Karma Kanda. But by doing it, welfare of the world will be ensured. So you see that he is not asking anything for himself. The first boon he asked, see, after asking the first boon, Yamaraja might not have given the other 2. So the most important you will ask first. He is asking for his family, his father. The second one, he is asking for the whole world, society. It is not his demand. He did not have to do anything with the Agni Vidya. It is for the society. And the third one, he comes to his own enquiry, mumuksha. That shows his muksha. He wanted to know what happens when the body falls. So this is one question of Nachiketa, which is important. What I think you can repeat following me. Yeyam priyate vichikitsa manushe astityeke nayam astiti chaike etad vidya manushishtastvayaham varanam esha varastritiyaha. That the third vara is this. Would you like to follow? It will take a little more time, but let us do it. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushe. Hey, louder. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushe asti ityeke nayam asti iti chaike etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham varanamesha varastritiyaha. This is first chapter, 20th verse, 20th mantra. You should take by heart. This is very important. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushe asti iti eke na ayam asti iti cha eke. He says that when the body falls, people have two kinds of opinion about it. They are divided about it. Some say that there is something which still lives. There is something beyond. And some others say that no, there is nothing beyond. It is over. I would like to learn the truth of it by remaining under your tutelage. Etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham, tvaya anushishtaha. By following the discipline given by you, I would like to know the truth of it. This is my third boon I am asking for. Why? Nachiketa could have asked that some say it is there, some say it is not there. Tell me which is true. Yes or no? No, he knew that it cannot be like that. It is not a question of yes or no. I have to know the depth of it. If something is there, what is there? If something is not there, then also what it is. How do you say that it is? Actually, the question comes, if something is there, then what it is. At the end of the Upanishads, towards the end, he says that to know this, you should go to a person who says that there is. You should not go to a person who says there is nothing. Why? Because when a person says there is, then there the question will, inquiry will still remain. Then what is? Suppose you say that there is nothing, then there is no further inquiry. See, the Upanishad is so particular and perfect about it. He is saying that you go to a person who says asti. Don't go to a person who says nasti. If it is asti, then you will further inquire, what is that? Why am I not knowing? If there is something we are not coming to know, how do I know about it? There will be further questions, and you can inquire. It could be that what you are thinking will be, it is not at all so. It is altogether different what is. And that the Upanishad towards the end it says also that what is, if you want to know, you have to know now, not after the body falls. Because the buddhi is there when the body is there. The knowledge will have to sit in the buddhi. So although there is, what is here is there in the Paraloka also. It never changes. The Atma, which is your real identity, it never undergo any changes with the body, mind, intelligence, personality. Yesterday also we discussed that the Atma cannot change. It is not an object which will undergo a change. In an object, any change means it has to be an observable before you. It will be some change in the quality. Then it is an object. It is not the revealer subject. The revealer subject, you cannot identify any parameter, anything changing over there at all. So it does not undergo any change at all while the body is living, and after the body has fallen, nothing changes there at all. So to know that what is this real identity which never undergoes any change, you can know only when where buddhi is there. So when your body is there, you have to do your sadhana now and realize that this is what you are. You are immortal. Your real identity is immortal. It never undergoes any change. Whenever we are saying something is immortal, imperishable, we should know that it is not in the objectude. Yesterday also I discussed. In the objectude, in the whole universe, you cannot find anything which is not undergoing change. Because the whole creation is moving out of causality, cause and effect change. Everything which has got born will die, will undergo the destruction, and in between birth and death, it will undergo all the changes. So, whenever we are speaking of anything which is immortal, means it is not in the observable. That Atma is the revealer of everything, which we can know only by the amness in us. You cannot see the Atma as different from you. See, even when a person is trying to know the Atma in meditation, we have a tendency to, oh, today in meditation also I did not discover the Atma. That is, we are looking for Atma as different from me. And that is the greatest obstacle in knowing the Atma. Why? If you see something different from me, then can it be the Atma? The revealer, me, that is the Atma. If any other Atma is revealed, that means it is not Atma, it is an object before you. It is not a gross object, it is a subtle object, but it's a concept. I am running here and there. Is it becoming difficult? It's okay, no? So, this was his first question, that I would like to know the truth of it. So, naturally, Yamaraja started saying that you are a small child, what are you asking? You better ask for Cadbury and all, I will give you like that. He goes on promising him that I will give you the kingship of the whole world, this, that, and all. Nachiketa doesn't accept. Finally, Yamaraja says that this boy is not going to listen. I will bring all the materials from heaven and let us see whether he can withstand his greed in that case. So he brings the chariot, the dance users, the musicians, and diamond-studded chariot from the heaven. He says that all these are not available in this world. I have got it specially for you from the heaven. Take this, that, and all. And if you feel that you will not be able to enjoy, I am giving you 1,000 years of life. As long as, not only that, suppose he gives 1,000 years of life, of which 900 years is only old age, then it's not a blessing, it's a curse. Like diabetic patient, you are giving all the sweets that yesterday also people bought from me. Then giving me sweets is a punishment for me. I like sweets, but I don't take. So, not only the lifespan, but I am giving you the health also, so that you can enjoy all these things. You take all these things. Then finally Nachiketa comes out with his statement that Shobhava matyasya jadanta kaitat sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha api sarvam jivitam alpameva tabaiva bahas tabanrityagite. It's a wonderful statement. You should take it by heart. He says that, mind you, this is Nachiketa's statement, not Yamaraja. This is from the student, not from the teacher. He says, Shwah abhaba. Shwah means tomorrow. Oh Yamaraja, Antaka means Yamaraja. Shwabhava matyasya jadanta kaitat sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. Whatever you have given, they are all perishable. Tomorrow they will not be there. See, our people tree is called Ashwatha because it is one of the longest living tree. But although it is longest living, it is perishable. So it will not be there tomorrow. Ashwatha means Ashwatha. That means which will not be there tomorrow. So they are reminding by the name that although it is the longest living, much more than the human beings, hundreds of years it will live. But still you should remember that it is Ashwatha. It's not imperishable. Nothing in the objectude will be imperishable. Everything is perishable. So he says that whatever you have given, they are all perishable. Nothing. I am asking for you to know where lies the immortality. What is imperishable? What is the imperishable truth? Whatever you have given, they are all perishable. Not only that, they have a problem also. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. If we indulge in more and more of this enjoyment and all, then they will deplete our organs. Sarvendriyanam, all the indriyas will be depleted more and more. Because throughout the day we enjoy the object and the objective situation and everything. Because we are able to have a dip in the soul in the night when we are in sushupti, when we are in deep sleep. That is the time we regenerate. All the indriyas get regenerated. Suppose you do not have the deep sleep for a few days, you will find that the day time also you will not be able to enjoy the world. You will always be depressed. You will feel bad. Because your indriyas have not been regenerated during the night. So, if we take to that kind of an indulgence, continuous indulgence, naturally they will all deplete our indriyas. So he says, Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha, the brilliance of my indriyas will go by all this, whatever you are gifting me. Then the third statement is still more important. He says, Api sarvam jivitam alpameva. I want you to mark these words very well because it has not been translated also very well. Alpam word he has used. Alpam means insufficient, not short. Api sarvam jivitam api alpameva. Now, remember what had Yamaraja offered? That he said, I am giving you 1,000 years of life. Now, suppose our mind is having desires for enjoying the world. I have lived 100 years, but still I have desire left in my mind to enjoy the world. So, will the 100 years of lifespan be sufficient for me? Insufficient? Because I still want to enjoy. If I live for 1,000 years and still I have desires left, then will the 1,000 years be sufficient? It will not be. But suppose I have lived only 7 years like Nachiketa, or 20 years or 40 years, and I don't have any desire. I can live, I can die also. There is no desire at all. Then is not that lifespan sufficient for me? I may still live, but already the sufficiency has come. Is it not so? So let us coin the statement that the fulfillment of life, the sufficiency of the lifespan does not depend on the lifespan, but depends on the desirelessness of the mind. Can I say that? That the life will become sufficient only when our mind is free of the desires. It does not depend on the lifespan, whether it is 20 years or 40 years or 100 years or 1,000 years at all. If the desires are still remaining, then the lifespan is not sufficient. So this statement is extremely important. We should go always analyze them with the context. We have to see that he has already offered 1,000 and more than 1,000 perhaps, 1,000 years of life. Then where is the question of lifespan is short? There is no question of lifespan is short. What he wants to mean is that even 1,000 years of lifespan is not sufficient for a human being unless his mind is free of desires. And this is a statement from the student, not from the teacher. So he says, Tavayuva Bahas, Tava Nitya Gite. Oh Yamaraja, may all these things, all these chariots, dance users, musicians be with you, oh Yamaraja. Nachiketa is not interested in them. Can you understand our Upanishads? That is why yesterday I was saying. What a great declaration. Then the next sentence comes in the next mantra, Na vittena tarpaniyo manushya, which is quoted in many places. Na vittena tarpaniyo manushya. Man can never be satisfied by vitta, by property, treasure or anything. So these are the statements of Nachiketa. Now Yamaraja found that this boy is much beyond what I had expected. He has passed all the states, all the tests, and also the way he has said, Yamaraja could learn something from there because by mistake he has offered him 1,000 years of life. So he says that, oh Nachiketa, more and more disciples like you may come to us. May more and more disciples like you come to us. You are already a Satya Dhruti. The Brahma Sadhana is wide open. You simply walk in. That is, if a person has so much of sadhana chatushtaya, all these things are there, then actually the self-realization is nothing for him. It is already had. See, always we make the mistake that we consider self-realization is a goal. That one day I will reach there and I will become self-realized. It is not so. It is the path. What is the self, first of all? Self is what I am. There is nothing that one day you will reach the Vaikuntha and become self-realized. It is not like that. It is a wrong identity we have fostered. We have created an egoistic identity about ourselves. Yesterday also I explained. The yoga means the dissolution of this egoistic, constricted, small identity into the universal, free identity that Atma is. Undivided, unfragmented Atma, the all-pervading Atma, that I am. This shift of the identity, how will it happen? I am already that, but I am not knowing that. So the transformation is not in the Atma. Atma will remain. Atma cannot change at all. It is unchanging, imperishable, immortal. There cannot be any change. It is not an object where we can see a change. The changes take place in our mind and buddhi and emotion. They undergo the change, and more they undergo the transformation. We become that Atma. That is, identity shifts. Identity shifts from the constricted I to the universal I. So as we move on the path, we feel an inner expansion, inner freedom, inner lightness, inner purity, and we become slowly the self. As we walk on the path, we become the self. And that becoming is so joyous that you will never worry about whether there is anything like self or not. It is fact. Once you really start walking on the path, it is so fulfilling because every step you take, it is so fulfilling. That joy of expansion, the joy of lightness, the joy of freedom, it fulfills you. You will never worry one day I will reach the goal, or whether there is a goal or not also, you will don't worry about it at all. You will be fulfilled walking on the path. So, now after this, Nachiketa puts forward his second question. This is, in this book, there are difference in the section division and all. In this book, it is 1.2.14, but you will be able to understand where it is. Here he comes out with the initial question was, when the body falls, some people say there is something, some others say there is nothing. I would like to know the truth of it by following the discipline given by you. That was the first question. It is a common question. Everybody will have that doubt that whether when the body falls, whether I will be there or not. The continuity everybody wants. So our religion has given some rudimentary, fundamental models about it. That Punarjanma and Swarga, Naraka and all that is a religious model. Once we want to know or aspire to know the truth, we have to outlive all the religious models and understand the truth. That we should remember. If we learn the Upanishads and carry on with our backlog of religious concepts, then we will not be able to advance. Because those are models meant for the Aam Admi, that is for the mass. To keep the society on the auspicious track, the religion is essential. To keep them on an auspicious track so that they are not given to wrong actions, immoral actions, it is necessary. And give them solace, put them into the right auspicious track, it is necessary. But once we become a seeker of truth, we have to understand right from the beginning that we have to outlive, not that reject, but outlive those limited concepts and grow into the real idea of soul. Because Atma is never, it can never be plural. There is no question of Atma becoming plural. Atma itself in the whole Upanishads, all the Upanishads you look for, never Dvivachana or Bahuvachana is used. It is only Ekavachanam. Not only that, Atma is not in the object level. Anything, suppose the Atma comes out of this body and goes into another body, then that is moving. It might be subtle, but it is in the objectude. You are seeing it moving from one place to another place. And it was earlier also limited, and now also it is limited. Atma is not limited at all. It is not in the objectude. So we have to readjust our conceptions as we proceed with the Upanishads. Now, I am expecting much more of abstraction from Nachiketa's question here. We have to understand that. He asks, finally, this is 1.2.14. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat, krita kritat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yattat pashyasi tadvada. Yattat pashyasi tadvada. He is telling Yamaraja, oh Yamaraja, whatever you are saying about shreyas, prayas, how a seeker should move, all these sermons are there. When he got satisfied, he tells him that how difficult it is to have the knowledge of the self, and there are very rarely somebody can speak about it, still rarer that somebody can understand it, still rarer somebody who has known from the Guru can instruct it. All those things are done. Then Nachiketa is saying that Nachiketa is not interested in knowing all these things. Yamaraja, if you know anything like this, yat tat pashyasi tadvada, anything like this, you tell me about it. What is it he is asking? Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. If you know anything which is beyond the duality of dharma and adharma, good and bad, moral, immoral, right and wrong, dharma and adharma, what outlives this difference, this contradiction, this duality of dharma and adharma? You tell me about that. So I am no more interested in the dharmic instructions of the Vedas. He clearly says, I want to know the truth, which is beyond such limitation. Dharma, adharma is meant for the society, for our individual life. But to know the truth, one has to go beyond dharma and adharma. That is also part of this statement. That it means that when we are also seeker, we have to outlive the code of dharma and adharma to reach the truth. Because dharma and adharma both are in the world, both are created by the ultimate truth or God or whatever you say. So God must be beyond dharma, dharma. The second statement, anyatra asmat krita kritat, krita akritat. If you know anything that is beyond the cause and effect chain, yesterday we discussed about causality. It is that he is asking. Because he understood that the cause and effect chain can never lead us to the ultimate absolute truth. Because whatever level you can reach, cause of, as I said yesterday, B is the cause of A, C is the cause of B, D is the cause of C. Like that, whatever you go, ultimately if you reach a God also who has created the universe, then you will ask, who has created God? And you cannot deny it. It's a logical conclusion there. So if at all there is any absolute truth, there is anything beyond that, it has to be beyond the cause and effect chain. So Yamaraja is clearly saying the whole universe, the objective universe is running by this cause and effect chain. It is from birth to death, they are running into the cause and effect model, cause and effect chain. So if you know anything which transcends this causality, causality means this cause and effect chain. If you know anything which transcends this causality, you tell me about that. I don't want to know anything which is within the limit of causality, O Yamaraja. The third one, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha. These are the three things. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat krita kritat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yattat pashyasi tadvada. You tell me if you know anything which is beyond past and future. Bhuta means past and bhavya means future. Actually, the question will be that why did you not ask about the present? Only past and future. The modern science will say that present the limit is zero. Zero. Why? Suppose you measure time 10 to the power of minus 50. That is our accuracy of time measurement. So 10 to the power minus 50 seconds back is past and 10 to the power minus 50 seconds forward is future. You increase our accuracy, we can measure 10 to the power minus 1000, say. Then 10 to the power minus 1000 second back is past and 10 to the power minus 1000 second forward is future. So what is the limit? In calculus we have limit that we are approaching towards zero. The present is zero. So it is enough if you say what is transcending past and future. But there is a great meaning in that present zero. Present is not zero. The present is the truth we are looking for. That is beyond time, which transcends time. The Atma, which is always present. Actually, saying present is when you are seeing something. Suppose I say microphone is present. It is existing. That is, I am seeing the object as existing. Here it is not like that. Without the consciousness, without the Atma, no experience can be there. So that is the transcendental presence. That is why in many saints who write about it, they will say living in the present. They talk about the presence always. Why? Because it is time limited, not a time limited truth. It is transcendental truth, which is always there. Even saying always is different. It is transcending time. So that is the truth we are looking for. That is the present. That is ever present. That is the immortality we are looking for. Now, he put the question to Yamaraja that if you know anything like this, you tell me. Now, let us go into Yamaraja's answer. He says, quite a few are there, but then finally, I think in short I will go. The real answer comes in the 18th verse. But before that again he says something. He says, Sarve Veda Yat Padamamananti Tapamsi Sarvani Chayad Vadanti Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om Ityetad. This is the first Yamaraja starts his discourse, so to say. He says, Nachiketa, know that all the Vedas, the four Vedas, they are in different sections, they are contradictory. Even if you read Bhagavad Gita also, it appears to be contradictory. But we have to look at it in the whole context, that what they are aiming at. So all the Vedas, they are speaking about different kinds of practices, this, that, yaga, yajna, etc. But what is the purpose of it? Purpose is to realize your own real identity. He says, Tapamsi sarvani chajad vadanti. So many tapasyas, austerities people do. They do fasting, they do this, that. So much of stand on one leg also they do. But ultimately, what is the purpose of all these austerities? It is to know this truth alone. Yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti. Many people take to lifelong celibacy. For what? Again, to pursue this enquiry that they would like to know the truth. Tatte padam sangrahena bravimi om ityetat. That, about that pada, that goal, about that purpose, I will tell you in essence. Sangrahena means not just briefly. It means in essence, because the truth is only one. All the Upanishads, so many Upanishads, what are they speaking about? Only one truth about our real identity. Nothing else is there. In so many ways they are speaking about the same thing. Yan neti neti vachanairi nigama vochuhu. That means the nigama, the shastras, they have spoken about truth, about this truth by the na iti vachanai. Have you thought about it? What is this neti neti vachanai? Na iti means whatever concept you give. No. Any concept is not the concept and object before us. Suppose the concept of God. I am knowing that concept. I am the truth. That I is the truth. Not the concept. The concept is an object before us. So anything you describe that Atma, even if you say Satchidananda, that is not really representing the Atma. That is only a concept. So even Satchidananda also it is used. Sat means which is not asat. Chit means which is not inert. And Ananda means which is not Nirananda. That's all. It is not that the Atma is Satchidananda. We describe it as a closest form. That's all. So if you can say iti means ki, this is the Atma. That means this becomes a concept before us. Are you able to appreciate? When we say this is what the Atma is, means again you have conceptualized the Atma. So by saying this, you have made the subject an object. Atma is the subject. By conceptualizing, we are making it a subtle object before our knowledge, before our knowingness. Is it clear? So, he says that I will tell you in essence, whatever the purpose is. What is that? Om iti etad. Om is the representation, is a symbol of Brahma Vidya. Now it is taken in two forms also. Even in Mandukya it is explained in great detail. One is that Om represents Brahma Vidya as a symbol. Another is that Omkara, the practice of Omkara can be used as a prop for our attaining the Atmic Atma Sakshatkara. That chanting can be in a manner that we can use it as a support. It is called Omkara Upasana. That also has been tackled in Mandukya quite well. In Mundaka Upanishad also it is there. Then the two verses he is saying, Etadhyevaksharam Brahma, Etadhyevaksharam Param, Etadhyevaksharam Nyatva, Yo Yadicchati Tasya Tat, Etadalambanam Sreshtham, Etadalambanam Param, Etadalambanam Nyatva, Brahmaloke Mahiyate. See, this second one is very important. He says that this akshara, that is the Brahma, Omkara, which is akshara means imperishable. This represents Brahman. This itself is the supreme truth. By knowing this, whatever a person wants, he becomes. Second one says, Etad alambanam shreshtham, etad alambanam param. Alambanam means which we hold on to, the support, refuge. Now, Etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke mahiyate. When we come to know this alambana, that Omkara, if you are taking that as the alambana, actually it is true about any mantra also. Then it takes you to the Brahmaloka is a figurative expression. It means that you come to know the Brahman. Now, alambana, when we are taking, suppose your Guru has given you a mantra. When you are accepting that mantra and practicing that chanting or manana on that, you are doing it on a faith in your Guru and the faith in the mantra, is it not? Now, as you pursue by your sadhana, you more and more practice it. Then what happens? That mantra starts blossoming in you. Like fire, it starts blazing forth in you. It depends on our sadhana. Most of us will take the mantra from the Guru and then Guru has to do your sadhana. So here, as we are doing the practice, the Guru has lit the fire in us. The lamp has been lit. But to keep it ablaze is our duty. We have to keep it ablaze by our sadhana, by collecting, by enhancing more and more of Sattva Guna. By absorbing more and more Sattva Guna, we have to light that lamp, blaze it forth. Now what happens that by practicing the mantra more and more and more, finally what happens? The mantra gets blossomed in our heart with its full power. Then we know what is this mantra Guru had given. Only when that mantra becomes alive in us fully, then we understand that what Guru had given at that time. Before that we don't know. So, etad alambanam jnatva, it comes later. When we take that alambana, that refuge as the supreme refuge, take it as the best refuge, take it as the supreme refuge. So much so that if anything is necessary, we will ask from that mantra, not run to the president or the minister or prime minister or the police or anybody. We will we will go to the police when necessary, that is different. But not for looking for something fulfilling. We will look to the mantra for everything. Give him the supreme position. We call God supreme, but give him the last position. Generally it is like that. When all the marriages and nephew's marriage, this, that, and all are over, then we have time, we go to God. Is it not so? The last position we give, even later than police. Police also is given the last position. When we are in trouble, we call the police. God we call, when police also fails, then we call God. So, he's saying that initially when we are holding on to this refuge, the mantra, we should hold on to it with the full faith that this is the supreme refuge, this is the best refuge. And with that, when we practice, then it blazes forth in us. And finally, we come to know the power of the mantra. It becomes alive in us. Now, saying these two, he is only trying to create the value in Nachiketa's mind. That whatever he is going to tell about the truth, about the Brahman or the truth or the Atma, you must value it, otherwise you will not grasp the truth. That is why in Bhagavad Gita also you will find that whenever he is saying, oh, this is the supreme truth, oh, this is the ultimate truth, This is greater than the greatest truth. Why? Because he has to create, Krishna has to create in Arjuna's mind that here, now I am going to say something great, so that he becomes attentive. So, saying that, he is now disclosing the truth. So, in the 18th verse, I would like you to chant Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit Nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit. A little louder. न जायते म्रियते वा विपश्चित् नायं कुतश्चिन्न बभूव कश्चित् अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Very similar verses there in Bhagavad Gita also. Now, what he is saying, Vipaschit, instead of Bhagavad Gita, here he has used the word Vipaschit, which means the truth and it means the Jnani also, the knower also. He says a knower, also the Atma, both are true. Na jayate na mriyate. It never gets born, never dies also. It is beyond birth and death. So, where is the question of Punarjanma coming here? We have to understand that's a religious concept, it's a model, it has a meaning, but to know the real Atma, there's no question of birth or death. It doesn't move, it doesn't go anywhere. The consciousness is the only thing which doesn't move because it is not in the objectitude. Anything moving we will be able to know it's moving. So, what is when you consider Vipaschit to be the knower, then he also becomes na jayate na mriyate. That is, he also transcends birth and death. How? His body will not transcend birth and death. That means his identity has got shifted. Earlier he was identifying himself with the body mind personality, which is perishable. Now he is identifying himself with the Atma, which is imperishable. So he now feels I am immortal. That is why all the rishis declared that you are children of immortality, only you do not know. Shinvantu Vishwayamritasya putraha. You are all children of immortality means you are also immortal, but you don't know that you are immortal. In the case of the knower, his identity has got shifted. He is immortal. I think today that I am going faster and faster. Better I will take it up again tomorrow. I will say something and then maybe 2-3 minutes I will take more. Is it okay? So this, you can think that how the shift of this identity takes place. Suppose there are waves in the lake or in the sea, whatever you may say. Now the sun or the moon is getting reflected in the waves. Is it not so? Now as the wave is moving, the image of the moon is also sometimes becoming half, sometimes straighter, sometimes this way, that way. It is moving with the wave. So the changes of the wave are superposed on the moon or the sun. But has anything happened to the moon? So what we are doing is we are identifying with the Atma, our so-called constricted Atma, which is a reflection of the moon in the wave. As the body-mind personality is undergoing change, I am thinking I am suffering, I am enjoying all those things. That is, I am thinking that the reflection of the moon is what I am. But truly speaking, I am that original moon. Even if the wave dies, has anything happened to the moon? Only the reflection has gone. Another millions of waves will come up with the new reflections. They will be there. The question is shifting the identity from the reflection to the original. So the Vipaschit becomes immortal not by anything happening to his body, mind, personality. It is under the care of the doctor only and the hospitals. He has shifted his identity from the body, mind, personality to the real identity, the consciousness, universal consciousness. So he says that Nayam kutaschit na babhuva kaschit. This Atma or the truth or the Brahman or whatever we may say, it has not come from anywhere. what does it mean? It does not have a cause. Is it not? Na ayam kutaschit means it is not come from anywhere. That means it doesn't have a cause. Now, if you say that it doesn't have a cause, now I want you to go deeper. When you say it doesn't have a cause, that means it is transcending the law of causality. Is it not so? Then can it produce an effect? If you link it that it has produced the universe, now it doesn't have a cause but it has produced the universe. That means your causality chain you have taken to this, then naturally the question will be there, it has also a cause. So if it is really free of a cause, if it doesn't have a cause, it cannot produce also anything. See, the Upanishad, which has been written thousands and thousands of years ago, has already stated here. This, can we imagine? He has written, Na babuva kaschit. Not that it has been caused by anything, it has not produced also anything. That is why we call the world to be mithya. Mithya not in the general sense as we understand. It is beyond. It is not a causal creation. We call it a vivatta srishti. There are two kinds of creation, parinama srishti and vivatta srishti. Parinama srishti means in the objectude material creation. Always there will be causality. When the sun is radiating, the hydrogen is getting converted into helium. There is a change in the cause. When the cause is producing an effect, the cause undergoes a change, a permanent change. Whenever any effect, suppose I burn the table, then ash will be produced, but that wood will not be there. Wood is undergoing a change. So to produce any effect, the cause has to undergo a change. That is called parinama srishti or material creation. Now, when in dream you have created something, is there a causality? You have a huge palace where you are moving. It just appeared. And can you say that you first thought of the palace and then the palace was created? It is together. The thought comes and the palace is already there. It is there right then. It transcends time. It transcends causality also. Anything that transcends time will transcend causality also. So, because the dream creation is creation in the consciousness, so it transcends both time and causality. Similarly, this creation, the whole objective creation, so-called objective creation, it appears to be gross, but it is all floating in the consciousness. It is appearing in the consciousness. It is called vivatta srishti. By manifesting the world, nothing has changed in Brahman, nothing has undergone change in the Atma. It is just appearing in that consciousness. So no change is conceived of there. Vivatta, it is called Vivatta Srishti. Just that is why we give the example of the Rajju Sarpa. That when you are seeing the snake in the rope because of darkness or whatever, you are seeing the snake in the rope. When you are seeing the snake, has the rope undergone any change? Nothing has happened to the rope at all. Like that, when the whole world is projected in the consciousness, in the Atma remains the same. If it had undergone a change, then the whole self-realization would not have been possible. Suppose by producing anything, the Atma had undergone change, then where is the question of our knowing the Atma? Even you can have an inkling about it, that from childhood, how many trillions of thoughts your mind has produced? Tell me. It just, anything is remaining there. Every day, millions of thoughts are coming and going. Nothing happens to the mind. The consciousness remains the consciousness. Because mind is closest to the consciousness. That also has the same property. Not fully, but to the extent possible. As the mind we take closer and closer to the Atma, it develops that property more and more. That is why a jnani does not get affected by suffering, does not get elated by anything enjoyable. He remains free under any condition. That is the transformation brought in his mind by constantly interacting with the concept of the soul. The mind has undergone that change. It has become free like the Atma. The changes are taking place in the mind, intelligence, not anywhere else. I will take it up again tomorrow because it is not completed fully. There are still many things. Om Sahana Vavatu. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः